What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for those who are new here, my name is Nicole. I'm now a 5th year kindergarten teacher, and today is a very exciting video because I'm going to show you how I set up my math small groups. So I've already showed you how I set up my reading groups, and I will link down the video down below so you can see how I do that. But math is a little different, and I'm going to show you all the things that I do for it. So if that's something you want to see, then just keep watching.
Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away.
Okay, so for my reading groups, these are all my reading group buckets. My math groups are my 2 buckets right here. And so I see one group a day for about 20 minutes each, just because that's how much time allows us. And so here is all the different activities that we will do. When we get back, we're actually learning 2D shapes. And so all of these are geared towards that. So the first one is a shape monster. They're given the shapes down here, and then they're going to create a monster up here just because it is Halloween time, and I think this would be a really cute resource for them to do, but also incorporate their 2D shapes as well. So that's one option. The other option is a rolling 2D shapes. I have something similar to this for numbers, but essentially they take a dice, roll it, and then they'll trace the 2D shape. This is kind of like a multi thing that they can do because this helps with their fine motor skills and activities, but they're also learning like how many sides, how many vertices, and then they're like, I know this shape. What's the name of the shape? So that's another one. And this one, they're gonna have their names written up here, turn it in. I think I'm going to make this a little fun, and they can use their markers to be able to trace all of the different shapes. And then something that I did start new this time around is they're going to have to show me that they are completing the work if it is on an eliminating sheet. If it's not, then they just turn it in here. And if they aren't done with it within that allotted time, then Friday, a portion of our math class will be spent for them just to kind of catch up so they can still do the fun activities that we're doing. So they're going to write their name, they're going to complete this, and then it goes into the pink basket. And then I also have dice for them as well in here. So each student will be able to get one and then just practice their skills. Back to this one, again, they're going to use their pencil and crowns for this, but then I still want to see that they're doing it. My students are very artistic this year, so if they do want to continue working on it outside of the 20 minutes, I'm not going to tell them no. I don't think that's really fair to them because they're trying to spend their time working on this and giving it their best effort. And so again, they're just going to put their name on them, and then they're going to put it in the pink basket. And then if they did want to finish it, I'll ask them on Friday just because that is kind of a fun activity to do. Our next one is a 2D shape match. So they have the shape over here, and they're going to color a shape a specific color. And so I'll have all of that labeled for them on our Google Slides that we do have. So then the first one's a circle. So looking at the objects and coloring only the circles, nothing else. And then they'll repeat that for the square, rectangle, triangle, and then a pentagon as well. So same with this. This is an individual paper, so they will bring it up here with their names on it at the end of our time frame. And then lastly, we are going to start learning our numbers, our teen numbers. So we're going to be learning 11 through 15 this 9 weeks. And so I figured I would go ahead and try to give them a leg up and a start with some of our numbers because teen numbers can be very hard and challenging for the students to remember, to see, and to write. Like for an example, a lot of the times they will switch the 1 and the 2. And so they'll write 21 instead of 12. And so this is our practice sheet that we're gonna do. They're going to color the 12, find the 12, color 12 leaves, trace the 12, and then build it in our base 10 frame. And so this, they're going to put their name on the laminating sheet and still put it in our pink basket. That way I can see if they're actually getting it done or if they're playing around. So there's different options that they can do for an early finisher activity, because my students are very, very, very good with completing the work, because they know that for them to have a fun Friday, they do have to complete the work without being silly about it. So I want quality work from my students. It's different if a student is struggling. I don't penalize them in any way for that, because I know they are going to struggle with it. And so they're going to be pulled to my teacher table throughout the week, if not every single day, to go over those skills to help them even more. So I never penalize students if I know that they already struggle with the material. Never penalize them for that, because then you're deteriorating their confidence and you don't want to do that. So there is that. Now, I also have early finisher activities. So some of these will not take my students 20 minutes to do. And when you don't have a structured time for them, they might tend to get a little rowdy. So I incorporated early finisher activities that my students can do, and so I'm going to show you them. Okay, so I am a sucker for a 10 drawer card. I love them. I have 2 other ones that I just use every single day. So the first 2 are actually our morning buckets. Well, actually the first 3. So these are all of our morning activities that the students can do. And then everything down below is something that they can do as an early finisher. So one of the early finishers, oh, that's not in there. One of the early finishers is they have a deck of cards. I removed the Queen, Jack, Ace, and any other face card, and so it's just number cards. And so they flip the card over, and then they're going to write the number that they see on the whiteboard, erase it, pull a new card, write the number, erase it. So right now it's just single digit numbers, but I'm gonna also create a resource to where they can put down 2 cards and then start writing 2-digit numbers. That way they can just build up that stamina and that process as well. So that's one early finisher activity. So there's 5 boxes. So that means 5 students can work on just this one activity that they can do. The next one is to help build their fine motor skills. I think in kindergarten it is so important to help assist students build fine motor skills, because if they don't have fine motor skills, it's hard for them to write, it is hard for them to cut, and it's just hard for them to pick up and grasp things. So I try to help them in any way that I can. And so I have Play-Doh task cards. So everybody will get 1 bag. There's 1 bag per student. So I've already provided the Play-Doh because it corresponds to the color of the task cards. So they'll take the Play-Doh. This one, they're shaping the Play-Doh into the number itself. So then they'll work on doing numbers 1 through 20. Or they're going to build the word that corresponds to the number. They're going to build the 2D shape. They're going to, again, build and trace the word to the number. Or they're going to build it in a base 10 frame. So those are 5 different activities that the students can do as well for early finishers. And then just because I'm a big stickler for fine motor skills, I have this magnetic guy, and then there's like little cards that go with it. So you slide in the card, and then the students have to take the magnet and match the colors to the cards. So all of that would be orange, and then green and brown. So this one is also working their fine motor skills as well. And then they take the card out, they put everything back in, and they can do another one. So I taught the kids, if it's just one thing, one person gets it. But if it's like a baggie or a box and there's like multiple of them, then multiple students can get them. So while we were doing 9 weeks testing, I was going over these activities with the students, and like they were able to play with them, they were able to see how it works. I was able to teach them more in depth about it. So let's see. Oh, popsicles. So I have 2 popsicles. The colors correspond to specific sides of their 2D shapes. And so they have to use the popsicle sticks to build the shape. And so that goes back to what we're learning right now. So that was really fun for the students to do. And it was a lot harder than I was expecting to. Because even I was just like, oh, okay, well, I have to move this piece. I have to move that piece. I have to move this piece. So it can actually make the shape. So it kind of gets them thinking about what they need to do. And then the last one is rubber duckies. And they have to order the duckies from 1 until I think I had 40 ducks in total. So they're ordering it from 1 until 40. So those are all of the early finisher activities that the students do. The students do know that if I find out that they don't have quality work and they're doing this, then we will practice my expectations again. Because again, I don't want them to go straight to playing without doing quality work. I haven't had a student do that because I've also taught those routines and expectations, and so they know that they're gonna get this work done first before they're gonna do this. So haven't really had a problem with that. But then also, I track my students through a PowerPoint. It gives out the CHAMPS, which CHAMPS is a classroom management tool to help with like voice levels, transitions, what the students are doing, how they should be doing it, and all of that. So I have my CHAMPS. Then I have a 20-minute timer. That way it lets them know how much time we have left and how much time I have left, because let's be real, I'm focused on the students at my table, not worrying about the time. So the timer helps me out too. And then it tells all of the students where they need to go as well. And so again, I see 1 group a day. I see my lowest group actually 2 times a week, because I'll see them on Mondays and then I'll see them on Fridays. So that's been really, really nice to do, just because they need that extra time with me. And I think 20 minutes is a good time to work hands-on with the students, because they're going to me for 1 day and then they're doing one of these activities afterwards. And then normally on Fridays, we're just doing like a fun Friday kind of thing. So I can pull that group again and see them again. But then let's talk about what I do at my teacher table. They're also mowing right outside of my window. So I don't know if you can hear it or not. If so, just kind of ignore it like it's not happening. So then one of the things that they're gonna do is come to my teacher table. And so I have different activities for them to do. We had a teacher work day where I was able to plan, 4 weeks out in advance. That doesn't ever happen, so I'm so excited. So again, we're learning 2D shapes, and so this is what they're gonna come to me about. We're gonna review all of the shapes, and then they're gonna have this paper and we're gonna work on it together. So we're gonna look for all of our rectangles, we're gonna look for all of our rhombuses, and then we're gonna color them at different things. So not only are they having to go look through this, but it actually practices their counting skills, and then they're gonna have to write the number as well. So this has done like 3 things in one, and I love it. So when they come to me, that's what they're gonna do for week 1. Week 2, they are given this one. This one's more like a, hey, do we actually know what 2D shapes is, or do I need to help more? So this one is kind of going to be like an early telltale sign, because we've already done it for 2 weeks now. This one's going to tell me if they're able to see these down below and then match it to the pictures already there. So then if I see that a student is struggling, I'm able to step in right then and there and assist them with what I need. Plus, again, it's a fine motor skill because they have to cut and glue. So that is what we're doing for the next 2 weeks at my teacher table. So I try to make the groups fun. I try to do activities to where it's very hands-on for the students, but it's also beneficial in multiple areas, not just one area. But that is pretty much how I set up my math groups. I will again link down how I set up my reading groups, because that's a little bit more in depth compared to my math groups. But I am gonna go ahead and end off our adventure here. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can join our little family. But I love y'all so much, and I cannot wait until our next spooky adventure. Bye, guys.
They can try, but they can never take me down. Ooh, 'cause I'm